So the Lego Batman movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
I need to see that because apparently it's really good.
Yeah, well, I had some friends.
I'm hearing people say it's the best Batman movie made. So it's like,
I had some friends who were going to go see that today, but I'm a bit busy.
A little bit. More important things. Because we're here to talk about ponies. It's Pony 411. Yes, Pony 411, podcast all about the ponies. This is episode 170 for the week of February 12th, 2017. I am Nemesis, and joining me is Alca7raz. Yes, we have an episode where we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We've done it before, but for once we're going to do a positive version of it. For once. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we do have a bit of news. Not a whole lot, but there is some big things in it.
We're going more quality than quantity, apparently, for this one.
Yeah. And we also have a couple comics, as well. One of them we were supposed to do last time, but shipping issues, and not the good kind. Plus, we have a little bit of fan content to kind of end the show with. So, we probably should go ahead and jump right in.
As we do every week.
Yes. If you want to follow along with the news, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. That's spelled LIBSYN. You can click the link will be in the YouTube description, on the note card, and you should be able to find it pretty easily.
Yep.
Or just type it out as I said it. Anyway, the news, to get started with convention stuff. Galacon has announced Kazumi Evans.
Yay.
And kind of related, Brony Fair 2017 has been cancelled.
Aww.
Those who have already purchased tickets will be refunded and offer €5 off for a Galacon ticket.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, but basically their thing was their real life jobs are getting in the way of doing this properly, so they'd rather than do it crappily, they just canceled it.
Crappily. Yeah.
Makes sense.
No, I mean just the word crappily.
Oh well.
Not sure if that's a real word.
Oh,
it is now.
Anyway, Winnie City PonyCon has announced GM Barrow and Tony Fleeks. And final bit of convention news, BronyCon has announced that they'll be adding a small amount of non-pony content to their con, and this has not been controversial at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the rumors kind of circulating about that, and then they confirmed, yes, we are doing a little bit of non-pony content, and people, well, sky's falling.
Yes, the sky is falling.
Fandom's dying, everything's awful.
That reminds me, I think it was DM29, the artist made a tweet, made an awesome joke. BronyCon and Knuckles.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was hilarious.
It's, in my opinion, it's not really a big deal.
I don't think it's a huge thing.
Now they completely announce a complete rebranding and stuff, then you should be concerned.
Yeah.
But it's still BronyCon, it's still 95% pony, so it's fine, I think, in my opinion. Yes, and the thing is, there's people there are interested in stuff that's non-pony, shocker. And if you don't want to see it, you don't have to attend the panels or whatever that have it.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to the vendor hall, and I've last year at Everfree, I was able to buy some Life is Strange pins.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
I mean, artists sell much more than just pony there.
Yeah. So it's not a huge deal. I mean. Yeah, I honestly don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal.
At least right now, who knows, will be in 2018, 2019, whatever.
Yeah.
If it starts becoming kind of more and more with more kind of overshadowing the pony, then yeah, we should probably be concerned a little.
But right now it's not.
Yeah, I think it's no big deal. Anyway, fandom news. The horse game is still in development, but they're seeking programmers.
If I knew Unity.
For Unity, yes.
Yeah, it's C# and Unity, so if you're good with those.
And the side-scrolling Follow Equestria game is now on version 0.4.
Yep.
A couple more fixes and whatnot.
And a couple of things added.
Mm-hmm. The Fighting is Magic Mega version is dead. Hasbro sent them a C&D.
Saw that coming a mile away.
Yep. The other version, I haven't heard anything from them yet, so who knows.
It's probably just a matter of time.
Yeah. Fall of Enterfold is now on version 3.5. The horror co-op thing.
Yep.
And NIA Path of Light is dead. Or not. While things are currently a bit rocky, the project is continuing under the name Path of Planes.
Yeah.
One of the apparently the program, one of the programs took some money and left or something.
And the people who are working on it are currently, well, I think their country's in the middle of a war.
Yeah.
Civil war, so the things are getting delayed and rocky that way too.
Yeah, so
things are happening. It's
it's
kind
going to be
of in a
slower
rocky
now.
situation.
It's going to be slower now to come out. And Seeds of Kindness, The Chain of Heart is out. Donate if you want that album. Money goes to, I think, believe it was malaria stuff?
I believe so, yeah. Malaria.
Against Malaria Foundation. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. And merchandise news. More MLP Connect sets have been found. Hasbro did very well for itself in 2016, topping $5 billion in revenue for the first time in company history.
That's pretty cool.
MLP specifically was down domestically, but up internationally.
Probably like the calm before the storm when the movie merchandise all hits.
Yes, that's typically what happens. Transformers always does. Although oddly enough, last year Transformers did really well, even though it was a non-movie year. And the Gameloft MLP game has just got an update with slice of life content. You know, the 100th episode, wedding and whatnot. Check out the details in the link. Tales of Equestria RPG book has been listed on Amazon. And 2 new Equestria Girls mini shorts have been released.
I haven't actually looked at those.
Yeah, one is the Celestia one, and one is the Saitoi one. Just I think they're 20 seconds long each or something like that. So yeah, very short.
It was interesting. There was kind of a hiatus between they were releasing those. They started releasing them pretty regularly, and they're kind of nothing for a while.
Well, that's because they weren't coming out with new figures for a while. It's interesting. They kind of also rebranded them, and they might actually have some sort of storyline now, which is interesting in of itself.
Odd.
So what's that? Stories based on toys? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, in comic news, the MLP comics have been officially translated to Russian. Tony Fleeks has put out some sneak peeks for upcoming comics. Just a couple out of context things.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Supposed to be a lot more common.
Yeah. A preview for Friends Forever number 37 is up on iTunes. This is the Rarity and Trixie issue.
Is that the last one?
Penultimate.
Okay.
Last one will be Celestia and Luna.
Yeah, at least they'll be ending on a decent one.
On Luna again.
Yeah.
And preview for, Guardians of Harmony Annual is also up on iTunes. The big one that's coming soon. That's, the single comic, not a series.
Yep.
And also, yes, a preview for Friendship is Magic number 51 is also on iTunes. This will be the one that ties into Season 7 directly.
Yeah. With that new villain, whatever.
And Forbidden Planet is listing Legends of Magic for April 19th, the first issue.
Yeah, that's replacing Friends Forever.
Of course, that's subject to change at a moment's notice.
Yep.
But that's what we got right now.
As it stands.
And in Friendship is Magic news, William Shatner has confirmed he has done voice work for Season 7.
Yep, we don't know exactly what. We just know
he's in.
He's done it.
That will be quite interesting.
I'm
sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. And not surprising, but Season 7 is returning in April. I mean, I think we both kind of speculated March or April, and so yeah, not exactly a surprise, but I guess nice to have confirmation. And the big news of this actually came out yesterday as of recording. The names and designs of several of the new characters in the MLP movie have been revealed via Twitter.
Yep.
And they are, Emily Blunt will be playing Tempest Shadow, who's
boy.
an armored unicorn type thing, or possibly armored with a broken horn.
Yeah, there's a lot of people throwing a fit over that one.
Yeah, my OC.
Oh no, a broken horn! It's a horrible design. It's edgelord. It's like
oh boy. And also scar over her eye. She's obviously been between the armor, the broken horn, and the scar. She's obviously a warrior.
Yes.
So there's that. Kristen Chenoweth will be playing Princess Skystar, who looks like a sea pony of some sort.
I believe it's already been confirmed that she said she was going to be voicing a sea pony. So there we go. Shoot.
Yep, because at the end of her hoof is a fin thing, so pretty obvious. Liv Schreiber
Yeah, Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber. It would be voicing the Storm King, who looks a lot like Tyrek, except
we don't have the upper body. We don't have any of the lower body. We don't know if it's a biped or.
But he definitely looks a bit like Tyrek as it is,
design,
except with more ape features.
Yeah, has
the face.
Has a bit more of a design there. And we know that's a villain. Obviously, it's a villain.
Oh, duh.
He said he was playing a villain. So
the Storm King.
Yes. Anything like the Lich King.
And then Taye Diggs will be voicing Capper.
Oh boy.
Who is a cat.
That one,
which is also causing a bit of a issue.
There's a couple things going on with that one. One, cat. Some people are freaking out about
the furries.
No, we have furries. It's like
they weren't already here,
guys. Also, cat Katrina.
Yeah,
I'm assuming a relation to the G1 villain Katrina. I think it was.
Well, not necessarily related, but.
Or at least a reference to, or some sort of connection.
Not necessarily connected. I'm bet there's probably no connection, but at the very least, Katrina is the very least shows, hey, we've already had an anthropomorphic cats before, so shut up.
Yeah. Also, Capper.
Yeah, Capper. That's kind of I'm pretty sure that's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah, that's just a weird coincidence, but yeah, that's some interesting.
Some cat with some red jacket. And Zoe Saldana will be playing Captain Solano. It looks like another anthropomorphic character. This time a bird, which is interesting. A bird pirate, actually. So that's kind of a thing, too. And, okay. Uzo Oduba will be playing Queen Novo.
Who is also a sea pony.
Yes. I'm guessing it's probably the princess's mother.
That's what I am assuming.
I would think so, but yes. So
interesting of note. This is it's a queen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hit queens unless they're evil. Usually. Yeah.
That was a Hasbro mandate. It looks like that mandate's gone away because it's stupid.
Well, maybe. We don't know. Maybe the queen is actually evil.
Yeah, maybe, but
maybe that's one theory. She's actually
evil,
secretly evil, and secretly working with it, and we end up finding that out, and they have to get her out, and then the princess takes over.
Maybe. It's kind of obvious though.
That had not stopped anything before.
I know. Well, I'm just saying I'd prefer it not to be obvious.
Oh, yes, but, I mean, it's still on the table.
I'm going to take it off the table because screw you.
You can't take it off the table.
I just did anyway.
Once it's on the table.
You're done. You're done.
Nope.
You're done. Not. Cut his mic.
You're the...
Anyway, that's the news. So, movies coming soon, and, well, Toy Fair is coming up soon, too, so...
like next week?
Yeah, the 18th, actually.
I'll have to wait a week afterwards to talk about it.
Well, yeah, but there's likely that's when we're going to get some more movie stuff, so... we'll see then.
Yes.
But anyway, moving on from the news, like I said, we have 2 comics, one of which we should have been able to do last time, but DHL is stupid. This is Friends Forever number 36, a.k.a. Alcatraz's worst nightmare.
Oh, God.
Come to life. This is the Soren and Rainbow Dash issue. This is, let's see, written by Christina Rice and with art by Tony Fleeks. And colors by Heather Breckel. Anyway, let's see. Main 6 are hanging out in the snow, and Dash is taking the winter off from the winter bolts because why would she? Because they're not doing anything. And then, oh, hey, Spitfire's here, and turns out Soren went off because Soren's all disappointed in himself because he got to prove himself and all that jazz. So she gets Dash to go off and go get him. And she finds him in a very, very remote place, which is racked with horrible snowstorms constantly. And they kind of do connection stuff and whatnot.
They talk and the things are resolved, and like they always are.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. My opinion. Well, I'm curious to see what he thinks about it.
Meh?
Yeah, okay, so there we go.
That's about all I can say about it.
Didn't rage about it, so that's good.
I mean, just the pairing of those two together is going to just taint anything, but trying to look past that, my dislike of those two. It was fairly straightforward. There wasn't any real major errors or problems that I could really point out that, mistakes or things here. It was fairly well written. The dialogue, it worked. But that's about as far as I can take it, really. Fortunately, it didn't go into any sort of real shippy anything, so
no,
that's a good thing.
There you go. So it's I kind of liked it. It was actually pretty nice. Kind of a couple of bits I was like, it's kind of weird, but
One thing I will say, outside of all the story, there's a couple pages in there where the art is just like some of like the 2-page sections where the art is just really freaking good.
yeah. Oh, look, there's Soren catching Dash.
Are you gonna make me punch you?
No.
Yeah, no. Well, it's just like the whole, just the way it was presented.
Yeah. Although I do have to question the. As someone else pointed out, why wouldn't the world with Spitfire send Rainbow Dash to be emotional support for someone?
Yes,
that seems to be a little outside of her skill set. No, I mean,
worked
in the beginning. It's just kind of funny. Just kind of, it's one of those things where it's like that shouldn't have worked, but it did anyway.
Yeah, I think I know what you're referencing with that question. Though I think I saw the same thing get asked.
It's just funny. Why didn't Spitfire? Oh, because she couldn't. Apparently, something she thinks that Soren's upset with her or something, so she can't.
Which isn't actually wrong. He was.
I know, but it's like, why don't you just send one of the other Wonderbolts who isn't very
It isn't also connected to the same reason.
Yeah.
Also not connected to the same reason why Soren's upset with Spitfire.
Yeah, so it was okay. I liked it not well enough. There was better, but it was fine. He's not.
I don't like.
He's
pairing.
not angry about it.
I'm not angry, so I guess that can be considered a positive.
The best you're gonna get out of him was it's okay.
It's not bad.
The best you're gonna get out of him is I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, if they just went all shipping galore, he would have.
Oh, if they wouldn't.
I actually kind of hope they did that just because it would have been entertaining for you guys to listen to.
There wasn't any shippy in it at all.
Yeah,
but if there
unless
was,
you squint and turn your head, which shippers are
known to do,
are good at. I'm good at it. Anyway, moving on though, the big deal, which is the 50th not anniversary, 50th issue of My Little Pony comic, the main line, 50th issue, also the conclusion to this Accord arc. Still Ted Anderson and Andy Price. And also, though, this time has a secondary story done by Whitley and Fosgate.
Yep, at the very end.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. Everyone's pretty much accorded, I guess.
They're all in one accord.
Yeah, all in accord. And everyone except for Starlight, who, thanks to a shield she put up the last second, was able to protect herself. But then it's, she and Accord decide to debate. And that's that. This comic is we're going to talk about the first story first, and then we'll get to the second story in a little bit. This arc ended with a. That's the best way to describe it. It ended with.
It didn't end.
It didn't even end with a whimper, because a whimper could have been poignant at least, but no, this is just and there's nothing poignant about that. This was a very overall, yeah. Now seeing the whole thing in place, the whole arc was very, very mediocre, and it's kind of frustrating in multiple ways. I think a lot of the frustrations about this issue are amplified by the fact it's the 50th issue.
You like saying
Happy anniversary. That's why I keep saying anniversary. It says it on the cover. That's why I keep it. But anyway, the 50th issue. This should be a big, huge milestone thing. It should be a big deal, and the fact it's so mediocre. It hurts more. It's worse just because it is a milestone, Yeah. If it wasn't a milestone, it wouldn't be as bad. But because this is supposed to be a big deal, it's just kind of like, that's it? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem is a large chunk of this end piece of the arc is just the two of them talking at each other, debating. That's it. There's
not even an interesting debate, really.
Yeah. It's weird as well because you get this thing where it's just Starlight's baiting, like you can't mind control because it's bad because
we've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's just
we don't
weird
need to reiterate.
Because she did that before, and also just the way she argued it is how basically it's not true friendship because she's just forcing them to do what he wants, which is it's just kind of boring. It's
very anticlimactic, as well. I mean, it's like this huge build-up with all these things happening and then end with, oh, okay, you're right, click, everything's happy. Really? With this kind of boring dialogue to Accord just going, yep, you're right.
Yeah, honestly, even the art doesn't save it. Andy Price does good stuff, but there's nothing to work with.
I mean, throughout this issue, there was a couple cool little things, like directly referencing earlier episodes and comic issues.
But in a sense, but that's just,
like
that's just
but
redrawing stuff we've already seen.
I like the idea of actually, directly referencing stuff instead of just, if you get what I mean. It's just a couple little things here where I liked how they were going about it, or some of the things that they started to do, but overall, yeah, it flubbed.
Yeah. Also, there's a kind of a continuity error in that the Elements of Harmony come back.
Huh.
They're supposed to be in the tree right now.
Yeah.
Oops.
Another... I'm trying to remember from the second issue.
Good job, Anderson. You kind of screwed that one up.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember in the second issue when they actually went into his mind and found that other Discord.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they were talking about when they had to get out, how to try and fix it. Because it seemed almost contradictory to the ending.
I don't know. It's just...
I don't know. It just didn't work well.
This was not... this was just overall just... bleh. Also, this is something else that people have been bringing up. I noticed people have been bringing up there's a bit where Starlight's speaking about stuff, and there's a portrait of Sunset Shimmer there behind her. And let's see, you can't be friends with some pony who's exactly like you. It'd be like being friends with a mirror. And some people are interpreting that as being shade being thrown at Sunset by the writer, which is like, I can see that. I'm kind of like miffed too. So it's a little weird. Like, it's like that is like intentional framing. Like that line about a mirror when Sunset's right there. I'm not sure if it,
yeah.
That's like, what the heck, guys? Not cool. Not cool, Anderson.
Yeah.
So it's just not great. And it's made worse by the fact it's supposed to be a big deal. If anything, for the 50th issue, you know what you should be doing? You should have a thing just about the main six.
Yeah.
About them, not about the single most controversial character added to the show. And also, they also made a joke about the fact that Discord barely appeared in large chunks of this. It's like, just because you make a joke about it doesn't necessarily mean make it better.
I'm kind of wondering if they wanted to, but were told otherwise. Like, someone told them they had to do something else.
I don't know. I almost want to...
And that's why they were throwing those jokes in there.
I don't know. It's just, any which way, it's a very overall disappointing arc, and it's like, it's extra disappointing because it hits a milestone and just wastes it.
That is a good word, disappointing. It very well sums that up. It had a lot of potential. It could have had more, and it squandered what it had.
Yeah. Even ignoring the Starlight Glimmer thing, that's not even the biggest problem. Like,
I mean, it could have been
a problem, yes, but
it could have been Twilight making those arguments, and it still wouldn't have made it good.
Yeah, it's just Starlight's still a problem, yes, because of several reasons, but it's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is it's just a lot of talking about things. No, the artwork's not very interesting because it can't be interesting because there's nothing interesting there to do.
Yeah, it's like the prequel Star Wars trilogy. All these over-the-shoulder shots back and forth because all they're doing is talking, and what can you do camera-wise?
Yeah. So, this does have a B story, and this one's a bit different. This is the Whitley Fosgate, and it's basically apparently Celestia's birthday, and Discord's trying to figure out what the heck to get her. And he finally figures out, get her a day off. And that's what it is. It's just the two of them going around on Celestia's day off, while disguised.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more. I think. Well, the story it's pretty good. It's a lot better than the first half. I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
The second story is a lot better than the entire main arc.
Yeah, and it still kind of has little things like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a short little one-off.
Again, it's just like, hey, look, this secondary story has more focus on Discord than the supposed arc that's about Discord. It's pretty good, just, I think there's a couple little things here and there. It's like, I wish they did a little differently. I think, I've also noticed there's a lot of stuff. I've noticed a lot of fan works about Celestia taking a day off and stuff, so.
Yeah.
It's a common trope. Interesting. There's that, I guess. The second half's pretty good, but, and I mean, there's been better, but the second half's pretty good. It doesn't quite make up for the first half, especially since this is more expensive. This is a $6 issue because of its size.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, hopefully next month with the new arc that will hopefully turn things around, because this is not a great one.
Yeah. Was it Shadowlock is a new character? I don't
remember the name.
New villain? Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So, that's, I guess, issue 50. First half, ugh. Second half, pretty good. Now, our main discussion, which I said we've done this before. We've talked about specific characters in the past. We did Spike, and we talked about how much we didn't like him. Then we did Starlight, and talked how much we didn't like her. Now we're going to do a positive version.
Should I go get a trash can for you?
Shut up. Yes, positive version, a character I personally like a lot, and you, I guess, are okay with. Sunset Shimmer.
I'm going to talk about one of your 2 waifus.
Yes, remember.
You've already ruined your waifu.
Yes, too many waifu destroy your waifu.
More than one waifu.
See me as an example. And learn from it. But, yes, we're going to talk a little bit about Sunset Shimmer here. Kind of from beginning to end, and kind of fan reaction, and a little bit. We might not be able to get into everything just because we only have so much time. So, here we go. So, Sunset Shimmer. It's interesting because our first introduction to her as a fandom was, not surprisingly, a toy. We saw her at the Toy Fair of 2013, actually. So, wow, a long time ago.
A lot of things were a long time ago now.
Yeah, 4 years ago. She was part of some weird masquerade line. Well, this is also happening. This is kind of downplayed at the time because the Princess Twilight thing was exploding.
Exploding, yes.
But then people noticed, hey, there's this new wave of the main 6, except Twilight's not there. Instead, it's this character named Sunset Shimmer. Who's that?
Who is that?
And people there was speculation based off multiple things. 1, her name was a synonym, so. And 2, she's a unicorn. And 3, she's there instead of Twilight. It's
and Twilight just ascended.
Yeah, so there's this speculation of she's replacing Twilight. So it's oh no! Also, there's the thing of red and yellow because Hot Rod in the original G1 Transformers movie. People noticed that too. So
Rodimus.
Yeah. So people were wondering if she's replacing Twilight.
Twilight's going to die.
And yeah, they said no, Twilight's still around. She's not being replaced. She's still going to be there. Everything's fine there. And that was right. Then later on, we found out who Sunset really was.
Bad pony.
A bad pony, indeed. Yes, Sunset Shimmer, the former student of Celestia before Twilight.
So Twilight did the replacing.
What a twist.
No, that's a character who hasn't shown up in a while.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, so the thing is about her character in the first movie. I remember, so the thing is she was the bad guy.
Yes.
Remember she stole the crown and tried to humiliate Twilight and got humiliated herself and then got turned into a demon and then got punched into a crater.
Raging she-demon.
Exactly. I remember the fandom reaction, and I think you didn't see it at first. We had to wait until Everfree, Everfree until you got to see it because you hadn't seen it yet. But the initial reaction to her was,
She was a new villain, and she wasn't a new villain on a
controversial.
Yeah, well, she wasn't. Well, she started out controversial, but her status as a villain wasn't controversial once it was determined at that point. But
the movie
she was in, yes, the movie was controversial.
But I remember,
so she kind of started off on this kind of a
weird place.
She already on a bad foot.
But the thing was, the overall fandom reaction was just very, whatever. She's okay, I guess.
She's not as bad as we were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, my reaction was, she's all right. I mean, she works. My reaction was, she worked. I mean, there was nothing particularly wrong with her as a villain. She just wasn't particularly enthralling or anything.
She was no Chrysalis.
She wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't Chrysalis. She wasn't Chrysalis. She wasn't. I think at the time my thing was she wasn't as bad as Sombra because at least she had a character. Whereas the Sombra who's just,
Crystal.
Yeah, crystals and stairs.
That's about it.
So it was just whatever. And that was the thing, was she was so whatever because she was very generic. She was just a generic high school evil, which wasn't, it's okay, there's they can work with that. So there's that, I guess, but it's not particularly interesting. What made her interesting though was the comic that came out shortly afterwards, The Fall of Sunset Shimmer. That's what started turning her around.
For some.
Including you, I'm assuming. Yes, including me. That's why I started taking interest in her as a character, because that comic, that was about when she was still Celestia's student, before she ran away.
Although that one introduced some weird time issues.
Yeah. That's
more time issues.
If you ignore that one panel, it's fine.
It's B-canon, so we can do that.
Yeah. But it fleshed her out. It showed really what really started to show what motivated her as a villain beforehand. Before it was just, I want the crown so I could take over Equestria, and that's it. Nothing beyond that. And we find out she was, we knew she was Celestia's student, but beyond that wasn't really expanded upon or anything. It was just, that was a thing.
Yeah.
It kind of brought up and then kind of went away.
Yeah, it kind of set her up as the just, again, generic, I just turned evil because I'm evil. And there wasn't anything really there. She
the comic, though, it shows us there's a lot more. She was Celestia's prize pupil, much like Twilight was at the time. But the thing was, she also wasn't really into making friends, much like Twilight. But her thing was, she was more, not because she was like a shut-in, more was like she thought she was just better than everyone else. They didn't measure up to her standards, so, I don't need friends. And that was it. And that was that. But there's a bit with Celestia called the mirror. She sees herself in the mirror as like Alicorn princess, and then she becomes obsessed with that. And that was her downfall, was that. So you could argue Celestia had a hand in her villainy.
Indirect.
Yeah, indirectly. So Sunset, because she saw it, as far as she's concerned, it was inevitable. So I think it was one of those things where you could argue that Sunset's whole trip down the villainous road was because as far as she's concerned, the ends justified the means, because this was inevitable. So it has to happen, and she will take any path necessary to do so.
It's almost narcissistic.
Yeah, she was very narcissistic, and she was convinced that this is the thing. Is that she also became angrier and angrier because she perceived Celestia as holding her back.
Yeah,
possibly it was possible that Celestia saw her as Celestia saw her as a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird sentence, but it makes sense. I hope.
Sunset thought that Celestia saw her Sunset as a threat to her throne.
Mm-hmm. And Sunset eventually started getting more and more impatient and demanding, and eventually snuck off behind Celestia's back and started doing magic she wasn't supposed to. And then Celestia more or less expelled her, and then Sunset ran away. And that's where we see her at the beginning. So that's what's interesting about the comic, is beforehand, her motivations and whatnot in the movie were muddy and vague. Whereas the comic, once you put the comic in, it's like, oh.
You begin to understand the character. And
a lot of stuff in the movie starts taking a new light once you read the comic. Particularly some of the lines she has. The way she says, "Sorry, had to be this way, princess." Like the way she says that, it's kind of the way she treats Twilight. Particularly, she tries to distance herself in such a way. She tries to see Twilight as undeserving.
Yeah,
Twilight stole what was rightfully hers, so Twilight's the enemy. And the other line, which is interesting, shortly right before the final confrontation, actually, Sunset's threatening to smash the portal to prevent Twilight from getting back home in exchange for the crown. Twilight refuses, but everyone starts, telling Twilight good job, and everyone's cheering and all that stuff, and then Sunset snaps right there. Just says, "Oh, she did great. She's just so perfect," or something along those lines, and you can see you get this. There it is. It is. She is jealous of Twilight. She wants what Twilight has. Everything Twilight has. She wants it. She needs it. It's her only way of validation. That's what she spent so much of her life trying. I think that's what it is. She feels like this is the only way to validate herself. Is get this point, and then someone else got it. So that's the thing about Sunset as a villain. Was that I always liked that. I like the idea of a dark counterpart. It's always an interesting thing to me. So, the movie didn't do a good job of handling it, but the comic did a much better job of kind of providing context. And for me, the comic that's where I got interested in her as a character. It's like, oh, I'm seeing the motivation. I'm seeing the contrasts and comparisons to Twilight herself and whatnot. And that's where I kind of went, she's actually kind of interesting. And then Rainbow Rocks came along, and a lot of people started jumping.
Yeah.
And not reinforced for me, and for a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon. And that's also where, between that, the first movie and the second movie specifically, where we see Sunset's character really molded out, or particularly the second movie, but the comic and the second movie is where we see Sunset's character fleshed out.
Yeah.
Well, we do see things in the first movie that, when you look at it, kind of, this is when you have to start digging into her as a character.
It wasn't much to dig into in the first movie.
But you can, once you dig into it a little bit and get context from later stuff. In that, in many ways, yes, people are like, oh, she's just evil Twilight, but that's a little too simplified.
Yeah. She has a lot of similarities to Twilight, but she isn't, like you said, you like seeing dark versions of characters, kind of sort of thing. And while Sunset is, or at least was, sort of the dark Twilight, not exactly. It's not like a dark mirror. It's not.
Yeah.
Like you see that trope come up a lot. Oh, you have to fight your evil self.
Yep.
Sunset isn't really that. She actually is a lot different in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Personality-wise, she's almost an opposite in a lot of ways.
Some ways, but
she's extroverted.
That's the thing, is just her and Twilight have a lot in common, but
they do, and like interests and things like that, and things that
I think
into.
they do also have some personality traits in common, but they also have several that are clearly differentiated them. So I hate it when people go, "Oh, she's just Twilight again."
Yeah, no, I mean,
if anything, Starlight was wrong. But anyway,
they're very both very detail oriented for one thing. That's what gives them their knack for magic.
Very curious.
Yes, they're
how
very
things
curious. But therein lies one of their differences as well.
How they're curious.
How they're curious. That's where Twilight's very, methodical and stuff like that. Sunset tends to
let's just jump in and see what happens.
Just jump in and into things.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Sunset's also a lot more extroverted. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're very different while also sharing a lot of common.
Yeah,
traits.
and that's the thing. Speaking of Twilight's meticulous. She's also, likes to make plans and schedules and stuff. We've seen that multiple times. She plans her entire month out in advance.
She's meticulous to a flaw.
Yeah, to the point of sometimes she'll panic if something goes even slightly wrong. Versus Sunset, she just goes with the flow. She has, okay, this is what I want. I'll figure out how to get there on the way.
Yeah.
But the problem is we both see the thing is that can also lead to flaws, and we kind of see that over the course of the first movie how that can go bad. Particularly, because her end goal, I'm going to get the crown and get power. That's her goal.
And her chosen method at the end of things is to use mind-controlled teenagers. That's going to work.
Well, it starts off, I'm just going to steal the crown and no one will notice. And it almost went perfect, except Spike rolled over in sleep, and that was that.
It wasn't for you and your meddling dragon.
Stupid dragon. Spike ruins everything.
But this time, he didn't.
I know. Well, he ruined things for her. Anyway, so that was her plan.
Thing.
But so simple plan, but it worked. But the thing was, she adapted when that changed. All of a sudden, oh crap, they know. But okay, she lost the crown, and the tussle was Twilight, and Fluttershy took it. The human Fluttershy took it and returned it to Principal Celestia. And so, okay, adapt. I'll just win it. Do the fall formal. No big deal. Adapting.
She's done that before, so
adapted. Yeah, no big deal. But then Twilight comes along and starts running against her. Okay, readapt. I'll humiliate her. Make it so no one votes for her. It starts working initially, but then, oh crap, she turns it all around. Okay, this ain't working anymore. Okay, we'll just wreck the fall formal. We'll frame her. Get her disqualified. That almost works. But then they left evidence, because her minions are idiots. They never heard of Photoshop, apparently.
I'm not going to mention that.
Yeah, nope.
He never showed up.
He ruins everything anyway. So, okay. And they almost actually wrecked the gym to the point where it almost ruined her plans, which when she probably would have had to wait 30 moons, whatever
those are.
But she probably could have waited it out if she needed to. And then from there, well, okay. This is where we see things start getting increasingly desperate. She realizes, okay, Twilight's now really, because Twilight turned this around, Twilight's now really popular and is likely going to cinch the victory.
Cinch.
Yep.
Foreshadowing much.
Yep. So from there, okay, so this is where we see desperate. So what does she do? She decides she didn't even attend, knowing she's not going to win. And then she, gets her minions to kidnap Spike. And basically, one last thing. Give me the crown or I smash the portal.
Yep.
That was her final plan, more or less, at the time.
Her ultimatum.
And it didn't work. And we see that, okay, fine, you win. And it looks like that was that. She realized she had nowhere to go. Until finally she snaps and gets angry and just dive tackles Twilight.
Yeah.
At that point, she's not planning anymore.
Yeah, there's no planning.
That's just dive tackle, and then she happened to get it. And then apparently her desperation plan of army of teenagers to take over Equestria, which this is where you argue her plans can get a little out of whack just because she's so desperate to get to the goal now.
Yep.
That she's now her plans are getting more and more desperate. So that's her flaws. Her plans, she can plan herself and put herself into a corner because she has no solid outline of a plan, versus Twilight, who can paralyze herself because something deviates too much from the plan.
Or she just, can't get a full plan for whatever reason. She's
so
stuck in planning mode.
Which is why, if you put them together, oh, shoot. They're invincible because they will adapt one. Oh no, this plan's not working. Don't worry, I got this.
I got this.
Teamwork works. What do you know?
More foreshadowing.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I got this. So
there's that. And the thing about Rainbow Rocks, this is where she really gets interesting. We're only going to be able to cover the first two movies, I think, because the third and fourth movie don't really do a whole lot for her except for the homesick thing, which we've already talked about pretty
Yeah,
big.
We talked about a lot in
the homesick
one.
thing really comes up in 3 and 4, more or less.
It would have come up more if they didn't cut parts of it.
Yeah, I know.
Alas.
But the thing about the second movie is what we see her is she's lost. She doesn't know what to do anymore. She had her whole life planned out, and now what?
Well, not only
not planned out. She knew where she had a goal.
She had a goal. She had an idea.
And now that goal's gone, and she knows it's gone.
Her entire way of thinking and looking at things has been changed,
wrecked.
And she hasn't, narrowed it back down.
Now
yet.
what? I'm not going to become a princess of Equestria. I'm stuck in an alien world, and everyone hates me. Now what? And you see that. You could honestly argue she almost could have depression at that point, because the way she acts, particularly in the beginning, where it's everyone just glaring at her. And we don't know how much time passed before her second movie. I'm guessing at least a few weeks and a month or two. But imagine going through that. Everyone hates you.
And blaming yourself, probably. I would not be surprised.
Everyone hates you. And is angry at you, and all this
stuff. Not entirely unjustified.
Yeah, and you're trying. You can see she's trying to turn it around, but no one's giving her a shot. This is her consequence for her
her
evil.
penance.
This is her penance. Is going through this, and heck, the 5 friends the 5 people supposed to be her friend, often bring up really bad, touchy things for her inadvertently. And they leave her out of a lot of things. They formed a band and didn't even bother to invite her. They didn't ask if she wasn't even interested. No, just left her out. And you can just this feeling of isolation. You can see that she's just isolated, and this is put her so low. She's not sure of anything, to the point of she sees things, clearly sees things. The bit at the end of the Rainbow Rocks where she's talks about how she saw these problems forming between these other 5, and she said nothing. Because she's so afraid that, she'll just be told, no, shut up. Or whatever. She's afraid that this is not for her to talk about. This is not her place. She's that low. Her confidence, all of it is just gone. The elements of harmony broke her. Which kind of is one of those things arguably necessary to rebuild. So you have to break them down to rebuild her.
Yeah, when something's like
faster,
that.
stronger, better.
We can rebuild her.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
The magic.
But they're in the human world. They have magic, but
but that's the thing, is she is broken at that point. And she hits rock bottom. That's her whole point. That's the whole thing. It's an interesting thing of she hits rock bottom, and her journey from the last 3 movies has been her getting out of that.
She's finding herself, and she did hit rock bottom.
And that's the argument.
She left a crater.
And based on a lot of stuff, you could argue she would never. And even there's a bit in the movie where it's she gets her journal out, and it's kind of, she has the line about, I think even back then I knew what I was doing was wrong. It's this thing of she never really was that evil.
No, she wasn't.
She was a jerk, and she did some horrible things, but
she was never truly evil.
I think it's one of those things deep down. She knew she was doing the wrong thing, but I think you could argue she was at the point of, I'm already this far, I might as well see it through.
Or once you just get on a
yeah.
Once you start on something, you don't consciously think.
Yeah, I would honestly think she just kind of went down this path thinking this is the only way to get what is rightfully mine.
Yeah.
And so she knew it was bad, but as far as her mind, because her mind is basically the ends to justify the means. Yeah. This is my right. This is what I deserve. I'm going to do these things regardless.
Yeah, I don't think there was much of a, well, I've already gone this far. I don't think it was it's quite of a conscious thought. It was more the, no, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Not the, well, I've already gone here.
Yeah, well,
it was more the, no,
she convinced herself she probably
this.
convinced herself she was in the right.
Yeah. Even basically constantly fighting off the little voice in the back of her head going, hey, maybe no.
Maybe you're wrong. I mean, we even see that, like, she's not a complete monster, she let go. She let Spike go once, Twilight was outside. Once Twilight was outside, yeah, Spike was let go. She's not heartless. There's something, still a good person inside, just as the movie kind of, the end of the first movie kind of implies. So there's still a good person there. She's just buried it under all this awful stuff.
Just like Darth Vader.
Yep, exactly. Except without, kind of had the bad. Well, it's weird.
Well, see, Twilight isn't Sunset's son.
It's weird. Anyway, and this is kind of why her Reformation arc was really well done, in my opinion. Rainbow Rock in particular.
The after the Reformation,
that's why I said the Reformation arc, not the Reformation itself. That's why I said the arc.
Yeah.
The Reformation arc was really well done. The actual Reformation was more or less the same. Was just a copy paste of Luna's.
You were just gonna shoot you with a giant rainbow laser and everything.
It worked last time with Luna. So
well, everything wasn't happy, but it worked.
Yeah, it's just a copy paste of Luna. So it's really weird when people try to throw that. It's like, well, Sunset just got hit by rainbows. Well, so did Luna.
It's kind of interesting how the entire Equestria Girls movie was almost a cut and paste
parallel
of the first two episodes.
I think I think they implied that was supposed to be kind of intentional.
Yeah, it felt intentional. So
well, there's a lot of stuff we could get into, and I think we're actually running really long now.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot more I could talk about, including like some of the stuff they almost did with the characters, some of the stuff that's kind of looks like it could have happened, but someone backed out at the last second. Like she almost didn't make it into Rainbow Rocks. I remember that Megan McCarthy said in the first draft of Rainbow Rocks, Sunset wasn't even in it.
Which is weird because in what we got, she was
the main character.
Basically the main character. And she's essentially the leader of the group now.
Yeah. She's the leader of the group. She's it was one of those things she could have, if she didn't go down this dark path, who knows, she could have been in Twilight's place if she didn't do what she did in the past.
In the end, she did replace Twilight, just not in the main world.
And then Twilight replaced her again.
Except that Sci-Twi hasn't replaced her. Sci-Twi plays second fiddle.
I know, but that's been a criticism, is Sci-Twi's replacing Sunset. Yeah, it's just she could have been the Princess of Friendship if she just didn't screw up so bad. Who knows? She could still get there. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what they're planning. We don't know anything. But arguably, she could get there. She is kind of following along the same path that Princess Twilight did, just kind of in a very different way. But she's kind of getting to that same endpoint, possibly. She is doing a lot of the same things. She's the leader of the group. She's the one who kind of solves their problems. She does a lot of the same stuff. So she is Twilight in a sense, but at the very same time, she's a very different version of Twilight.
Yeah, I would...
Methodology is different, but their end goal is the same.
I would even hesitate to really use the term, like Twilight or a parallel of Twilight, because they are so much different. They just have a few similarities.
Yeah.
And they put them on the same path. They're on the same path, but they're very different people.
They are, but they still have the same end goal. They do all the same work. So, in many ways, that would be the interesting thing, the counterbalance. Why do we two princes of friendship got to be friends? Because that's how do you symbolize friendship? Have two princes of friendship being friends together. Duh.
Anything to bring them into the same world.
Yeah. And I remember there was an argument that Sunset is actually the element of magic in the human world because of who she is. Which it's not a bad argument. Just it seems like the writers disagree.
Yeah.
Of course, there is that thing of. They never really nailed down what she is, because all they needed. They needed a seventh element of some sort, and Sunset is it, whatever that is.
Seventh element.
Yep.
Not love. The fifth element.
Yeah. So yeah, she was some sort of seventh element for apparently. So that adds a whole new thing of.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were running out of time.
There is a lot of stuff that we could
do it easily.
about.
I could easily do a part 2.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll. I don't know.
Okay, I know you want to.
I would. But yeah, we should move on. We got fan content.
Yes.
We'll start off with music.
As we always do. I've picked 2 songs this week. First one is Frex's Wake Them, remixed by Neverlast Standing. It's upbeat and mostly happy, I would say. And it has a bit of a confident feel. It's not super just happy bouncy, but it's got this upbeat kind of a confident feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very different take on the original, which was a lot smoother and mellower. It's also twice as long. The original was only like 2 minutes. But I think Neverlast Standing did a really good job with this remix.
Yeah. I really like the intro in particular. It really stood out to me. The intro did. And also it's kind of interesting. It's a kind of chill in the first half.
A bit.
It's weird. And then it kind of picks up at the second half and really kind of starts getting more upbeat. But yeah, it's very kind of mellow and chill in the first half. And yeah, I kind of liked it a lot.
And it's good use of vocal chopping.
Yeah.
The next one is Blue's Breakaway. This one's also upbeat, but has a bit more somber tone to it. Not somber. Not sombrero either, before you go that way. But yeah, it has more of I get sort of a deeper emotional feel out of it, but it's still really, really good, I think.
Yeah. This one also has a pretty cool intro. Very different, but it's very cool as well. There's some nice instrumentation in this one, particularly as the kind of a backing instrumentation that it's hard to describe, but it's really cool sounding. I like that particularly. I'd have to like listen to it and be like right there. It's like, here, that's what I'm talking about. See?
Yeah, it's hard to talk about points like that here.
But yeah, that's pretty good to it one too. I think I like the first one better though.
I think I like the second one better.
Disagreement.
Oh no.
Anyway,
yes, that's what I got.
Yeah, so
only 2
fanfics. First up, I'm going to go with updates. Enchanted Library updated with a new chapter.
Short one.
Yes, short-ish one.
Short-ish, yeah. It's an interlude.
It's about Luna.
Yeah.
And her perception of things and her, I guess, personal hell.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, so, Luna never gets anything happy. That's just how it is. She always beats herself up over everything.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, actually.
It is.
You wonder if they're going to do anything between Luna and Pinky later.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not like it's not like they're not doing. Oh, wait, they are.
They are.
Yeah. So, that was pretty interesting. But my featured, yes, I have a featured.
Finally.
Yes, this one is called "The Sparkle Census" by Skyward Shoe. If you've ever watched Rick and Morty, there's an episode where Rick goes to the Council of Ricks. It's kind of like that, except not as mean-spirited.
Yeah.
It's, well, Twilight, multiverse Twilight, there's one that shows up and, she's asked her name. And then, things go crazier from now. Let's just say that. There's a lot of Twilights from multiple dimensions, and this is the adventure of one particular Twilight through this grouping of Twilights. So, yeah, it's pretty funny, actually. It's also done. It's a multi-parter. It's 8 chapters and an epilogue. About 20, just shy of 25,000 words. It's a fun one, I think.
It is. It is really fun.
It's very goofy.
It's a cool. I've seen the trope played up a few other times, but it's always interesting to see the little differences here and there. But yeah, it it's really well done. I like
there's
it. It's funny.
There's also a couple lines or written bits in there just I kind of like too.
Yeah, there's a few points where I was chuckling.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's just kind of a...
And if you have watched Rick and Morty, you'll see like, yeah, that was a reference to that, wasn't it?
Yep. So it's a lot of fun. I would highly recommend go and reading it.
Go read.
Yep. For once, no shipping. Ah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. With that many Twilights, it probably was somewhere. With that many Twilights, there's probably some hanky-panky going on somewhere.
Oh, well. Such is life. Go check that out. That's the end of this episode, though.
Yes.
Because we are running long. So I got to haul to get to the end of this. If you enjoyed it, you can find our past and future episodes on pony411.libsyn.com. Again, that's LIBSYN. You can subscribe to the RSS feed there. There's also youtube.com/pony411. Like, comment, and subscribe there. We do have changed up a couple things here and there. So mostly the end card thing they're doing now. There's also iTunes. Search for Pony411 there. Write and review. And subscribe. That's cool. There's also Google Play. You can search for Pony411 on there and subscribe. What do you know? And Stitcher.com or Stitcher's iOS or Android apps and search for Pony411. Lots of searching.
Lots of searching.
Mm-hmm. There's also Ponyville Live, ponyvillelive.com. That's also where the YouTube stuff can go if you want to go that way. And there's Ponyville FM every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's all the ways, as far as I know, that you can get to us.
There's probably more out there that people.
There's one or two others. I think there's one in Spanish, I believe. Weirdly enough, I was not aware. Anyway, if you want to contact us, you can do so via email, pony411podcast@gmail.com. Comments, criticisms, questions, big, long, rambling things about how we're wrong about Sunset or right about Sunset or some stupid thing we overlooked with Sunset or your personal interpretations of Sunset, whatever. Or whatever you want to talk about pony stuff. Cool. Don't send us weird spam crap, though. You can also do so, contact us via Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like. Do a likes. We also put the new episodes up as they are released. And there's also Twitter. We're at Pony411. That is our usual nonsense shenanigans stuff there. And you can contact us on our personal Twitters, where I'm at Nemesis Prime 1 and he's at Alcatraz with a 7 and 7T and an underscore at the end. I've been tweeting about Transformers and whatnot.
And I've been tweeting about collapsing shelves.
Oh no.
And toys.
Speaking of which, we just released another toy review thing on the YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, we'll be releasing another one pretty shortly. If it hasn't already come out by the time you hear this, I'm not sure about the timing on that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain, as it hasn't actually been.
But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying those. I did take some criticism, and yes, we have improved the lighting, so hopefully that's better. There will be further improvements, hopefully, in the future. But that should be it. Join us next time. We shall be talking about the Toy Fair stuff, whatever that entails, possibly the movie. Hopefully. Love to know about more of that, please. So until then, though, please, pony responsibly, guys. See ya.
See ya.